You don't need to tell anyone what you do. You just need to do it, because here's the truth. Results speak louder than your words ever will. And in a world that is constantly talking, tweeting, posting, and announcing every move, the most powerful thing you can do is not say a word. Just work, just build, just grind. And when it's time, let your work speak so loudly that you don't even have to introduce yourself. Think about this. When you tell someone your goal, whether it's starting a business, writing a book, changing careers, or getting in shape, your brain gets a little dopamine hit. It's a false sense of progress. You haven't done a thing yet, but you feel like you have because someone gave you a thumbs up, said good luck, or told you that's awesome, that compliment. That's a counterfeit achievement, and it kills your hunger. It satisfies you just enough to stop you from chasing the real result. I want you to stop announcing and start executing. Because when you're focused on proving what you can do instead of talking about what you want to do, everything changes. You stop trying to impress, you stop looking for approval, and you start chasing the only thing that actually matters. Outcomes. Here's the hard truth. People don't care what you say you're going to do. They care what you actually do. It's easy to post your goals. It's easy to say I'm working on something big. It's easy to drop hints and hashtags about your hustle. But what's hard is showing up every single day when no one is watching, when no one is clapping, when no one is liking your progress, and doing the damn work anyway. That's where the magic happens. In silence, in solitude, in solitude. When you don't need applause because you're too busy becoming something no one's seen yet. We live in a culture that rewards visibility, but don't get it twisted. Visibility without substance is empty. A lot of people look good online but have nothing to back it up. Don't be one of them. Be the one who's too busy making moves to talk about them. Be the one who shows up with undeniable evidence. The one who walks into the room and doesn't have to say a word because their presence, their results, their energy speaks for them. When you stay silent about what you're working on, two powerful things happen. First, you stay focused. You're not distracted by feedback or doubters or even fans. You don't have to defend your vision to people who don't understand it. And second, you build confidence. Not the fake kind that comes from likes or attention. I'm talking about real confidence. The kind that comes from knowing deep down that you're doing the work. This is why I tell people all the time. Stop broadcasting, start building, stop updating people about every step. Hey, let them see it when it's done. Let them see it when it's undeniable. Let them be shocked. Let them ask, when did that happen? And you just smile because you know exactly when it happened. It happened at 5 a.m. while they were sleeping. It happened on weekends while they were partying. It happened during the late nights, the early mornings, the days you wanted to quit but didn't. If you really want to impress people, don't tell them what you do. Show them the results. Let your transformation speak for you. Let your business growth speak for you. Let your new mindset, your new body, your new reality speak for you. People respect action. People trust results. And the most powerful people in the room, they don't brag. They don't explain. They don't perform. They deliver. So stop talking about it. Start being about it. Start being about it. And when you walk into the room, let your results introduce you before you ever say a word. There's a powerful reason you should build momentum in silence. It's not just about protecting your dreams. It's about protecting your psychology. When you keep your goals to yourself and work on them privately, something transformational happens. You stop getting distracted by the need for recognition, and you start locking into the real work, the work that matters, the work that moves the needle. And more importantly, you build the kind of internal pressure and mental discipline that fuels real momentum. Here's what most people don't realize. When you talk too much about your goals, your brain can actually trick you into feeling like you've already accomplished something. It's a psychological phenomenon known as social reality. The moment you say, I'm going to start a business, or I'm writing a book, or I'm training for a marathon, and someone praises you or reacts with excitement, your mind gets a hit of dopamine. That chemical rush makes you feel good. But here's the trap. It also makes you feel like you've made progress when you haven't. That little bit of praise, that recognition, it's dangerous Because it satisfies the same part of your brain that's supposed to fire when you actually achieve something. And if you're not careful, you'll trade the pursuit of your goals for the perception of progress. You'll start chasing compliments instead of results. You'll start performing for applause instead of grinding for greatness. That's how people stay stuck. That's how dreams fade out before they even start. When you stay silent, you cut off that false reward system. You remove the distraction of external approval and instead build an internal drive. You put yourself in a position where the only thing that matters is forward movement, not opinions, not praise, not likes, just raw, focused effort. And that's when you become dangerous because silence breeds pressure, and pressure, when it's internal, is one of the most powerful forces you can harness. It creates a kind of quiet accountability. You know what you're doing. You know what you've committed to. And you know that if you don't follow through, no one's going to save you. No one's going to push you. No one's even going to know. That silence becomes a mirror. You have to face yourself every day and ask, am I doing what I said I would do? That kind of pressure turns talkers into doers. It turns intention into habit. It forces you to rise, to focus, and to move. There's another benefit to building in silence. It protects you from doubt. Because the moment you open your mouth, the world has something to say. People will project their fears onto you. They'll question your timing. They'll challenge your ability. They'll ask things like, are you sure you can do that? Or do you think that's realistic? And here's the thing, they're not always trying to hurt you. Most of the time, they're just reacting from their own limitations. But that's the problem. Once those seeds of doubt are planted, it's hard to shake them. Even if you're confident, even if you're prepared, a single what if from the wrong person can derail weeks of momentum. So protect your energy. Protect your ambition. Work quietly, not because you're hiding, but because you're building something that deserves protection. Your vision isn't up for public debate. It doesn't need validation to be real. It just needs your commitment, your discipline, and your focus. Silence is where you sharpen your edge. It's where you get clear. It's where the noise of the world fades, and the voice in your head gets louder. The voice that tells you to keep going. The voice that says, you've got this. The voice that believes in what's possible, long before anyone else sees it. Momentum doesn't come from announcing what you're about to do. It comes from doing it. Every day, quietly, relentlessly. While the world sleeps, while others talk, while everyone else is watching the scoreboard, you're in the gym, in the lab, in the trenches, stacking the kind of progress that can't be faked. And when it's ready, when you're ready, people will see it. They'll feel it. They'll ask how you did it. And you won't need to explain because your results will be undeniable. So stop telling, start building. Let your silence build pressure. Let that pressure create momentum, and let that momentum carry you to a level no one saw coming, except you. Not everyone deserves access to your vision. That's a lesson you learn the hard way when you start sharing your goals and get hit with criticism, doubt, or worse, silence. Your vision, your dream, your mission, it's not public property. It's not a press release. It's not something you hand over to anyone who asks, or to people who haven't earned the right to hear it. It's sacred. It's fragile in the beginning, and if you don't protect it, you risk letting the wrong energy in before your dream even has a chance to grow. When you're excited about something, it's natural to want to talk about it. You're inspired, you've got momentum, and you want to share. But inspiration is vulnerable. It's like a flame, and the wrong conversation, the wrong reaction, the wrong person can snuff it out before it catches fire. Not because they're trying to hurt you, but because they don't see what you see. They can't. It's your vision, not theirs. You have to understand that people interpret your goals through their own fears, their own limitations, and their own experiences. When you say, I'm going to start my own business, someone who's never taken that risk might respond with, what if it fails? Not because they hate you, but because they would never do it. When you say, I'm training for a marathon, someone who hasn't run in years might say, that's a lot of work. Because to them, it is. That's not feedback, that's projection. And if you're not careful, you'll start absorbing those projections as truth. That's why silence is power. That's why privacy is protection. Your vision is a seed, and you don't plant seeds in the middle of the sidewalk. You put them in the soil, you cover them, you water them, and you give them time to root. Then and only then do you let the world see what you've been growing. It's not about secrecy. It's about discernment. There's a difference. Being private doesn't mean you're afraid, it means you're focused. It means you're smart enough to know that not everyone will understand the season you're in. Some people won't get it until it's done, until the book is written, until the weight is lost. Yeah, until the business is launched. And that's okay, they don't have to get it. You have to get it. And that means learning to be selective with who you share your goals with. Surround yourself with people who get it, people who believe in growth, people who are chasing their own vision. Because those are the ones who won't question your ambition. They'll support it. They'll hold you accountable, not hold you back. They'll pour gasoline on your fire, not water. Look, the early stages of because when you finally emerge, when you finally reveal what you've been building, it's not just another plan, it's proof. You don't owe the world an explanation so stop broadcasting every move. Stop leaking energy through unnecessary updates. Protect your focus like your life depends on it, because in a way it does. Your future depends on what you're willing to tune out so you can lock in. Let others talk. Let them wonder. Let them speculate. You just keep showing up, doing the work, making progress. And when the time is right, your results will say everything you never had to. One of the most powerful decisions you'll ever make is to build your confidence in private, not in front of a crowd, not under the spotlight, not on social media where everyone's watching, but behind closed doors when no one's clapping, no one's cheering, and no one's validating your effort. That's where real confidence is born, in the silence, in the repetition, in the countless hours of unseen work. Because when you build confidence in private, it's real, it's rooted, it's unshakable. Too many people chase confidence by seeking approval. They think, if I show people what I'm doing and they react positively, I'll feel good about myself. But that kind of confidence is fragile. It's conditional. It only works as long as people are saying the right things. And the moment they stop, you crumble, you doubt yourself. You start questioning whether you're capable. That's not confidence. That's dependency. The kind of confidence that changes your life doesn't come from applause. It comes from proof, personal proof, the kind you build when you show up day after day, even when no one is watching, even when there's no feedback, even when the results are small, slow, and invisible to the world. You keep going, you keep building, you keep building. You keep doing the thing, not for recognition, but because it matters, because you promised yourself you would. That's the foundation of self-trust. And self-trust is the backbone of confidence. When you know that you can rely on you, that you'll show up when it's hard, that you'll push when it's uncomfortable, that you'll follow through when no one else is holding you accountable, that's when your confidence becomes bulletproof. And here's what happens when you build that kind of private confidence. You stop needing to prove yourself. You stop chasing permission. You stop explaining your journey to people who don't understand it. You start moving differently, with intention, with clarity, with power. Because you know what you're doing. And you don't need an audience to validate it. That kind of confidence makes you dangerous, not in a reckless way, but in a grounded, unshakable, deeply rooted way. People can doubt you, criticize you, misunderstand you, and you still move forward. Why? Because your belief isn't built on their opinions. It's built on evidence. Evidence you collected during the quiet grind, the early mornings, the late nights, the repetition, the discipline, the failure, and the growth. You don't get that kind of confidence by talking about what you're going to do. You get it by doing it, by taking the risk, by trying and failing and getting back up again, by learning to respect the process, even when the outcome isn't there yet. That's what sharpens your edge. That's what builds grit. And that's what makes your confidence sustainable. Because let's be honest, if your confidence only shows up when things are going well, it's not confidence, it's comfort. True confidence shows up when everything's uncertain, when you're scared, when the odds are against you. You don't need to announce every step in order to prove you're working. The work proves itself. The results will come. And when they do, they'll be undeniable. That's the beauty of quiet execution. It's not loud, but it's effective. Let people underestimate you. Let them assume you're standing still. That's another benefit of being unpredictable. While they're watching your last move, you're already making the next one. You're not trying to convince anyone. You're not trying to impress. You're just doing the work, silently, consistently, relentlessly. And that's where breakthroughs are born, not in announcements, but in action. So stay low, stay focused, let your work grow in the dark until it's strong enough to shine. When you emerge, it won't just be a surprise, it'll be a statement. A statement that says, while you were talking, I was building. While you were watching, I was working. While you were guessing, I was getting it done. That's how you become powerful. That's how you become unstoppable. By being so dialed into your purpose, so committed to your path, that you don't need to explain, you don't need to defend, and you definitely don't need to announce. Let the world wonder what you're up to. Let them question how you did it. You don't owe them the process. You just owe yourself the discipline. And when you move with that kind of energy, that kind of focus, you don't just make progress. You make impact quietly, strategically, powerfully.